Hey friend and welcome. So you want to be a better Zarya? You want to carry and not lift heavy because she's a bodybuilder, but because you want to carry your team? Then Zarya is a good pick. Welcome to my Zarya guide. And before we begin, please let me know if there's any other guide on the other heroes you would like to for me to make in Overwatch, or perhaps top 5 about which heroes you can carry with. This recording in the background is just a random round with some friends, so without further ado, let's get started. At this point I assume you're not completely new to Overwatch and you know the basic mechanics and so on. But we will still start with her abilities as they are key to her success. Your success as Zarya will completely depend on your ability to manage your shields and energy. Your barriers can absorb around 200 points of damage and will give you a maximum of 50% charge per shield. So if you time your barriers correctly, you can actually go from 0 to hero in an instant. When using your barriers, you should do it to keep people from taking damage, that are taking consistent damage, or just about to take a massive amount of burst damage. Well, that's pretty obvious, duh. Yes, but not many people utilize this. If your support is in trouble, you shield them and you will get rewarded. First of all, your barriers can help teammates survive. And secondly, it will turn back into high energy and good karma. Have you ever wondered why your shields on allies, your E ability on computer, has a shorter cooldown than your own shields? That's because you're meant to share, save and shield your friends. Give your shields often and practice timing them. You can do two things with your shield. Reactive shielding, that's if someone's taking a lot of damage, consistent damage, let's say a soldier shooting them, and you see this Roadhog is healing up, shield him. But you can also do a shield before people take damage. For example, if a Junkrat tire is incoming or a rocket from the Helix rocket from Soldier or Reinhardt's Fire Strike, you can turn their attacks against them. A pro tip is put your barriers on a Reinhardt as he has his shield up, because most players will shoot on the shield by instinct, and this will actually still fuel your charge. So how should you use your shields? Get to the point, Salt. Yeah, you have to know who to shield and when. So let's say an enemy, the enemy has a Junkrat and that spams down the map. That's pretty common. You have seen that lots of time in Overwatch. That's actually great because you can get free 100% charge. Get your one of your teammates and yourself just to step into the mines, hits bombs, and you will get fueled up quickly. If an Reinhardt is on the opposite team, use that to your advantage because he will be very predictable. Because Reinhardt players are predictable. He will use his Fire Strike against your Reinhardt or just against your team. And you should put your shield on your Reinhardt and then stand behind him. Boom, 100% charge. If your DPS is your DPS getting charged, you have to share your shield and save them, because they are sometimes on the front lines. And if you get them in, they get in trouble and you save them, 50% charge. Make sure your shield is already ready and don't be a coward. You can face tank a devault, yes. Just pop your shield when it's about to explode the diva mech and you get 50% charge. So many abilities in the game and ultimate, you can turn that damage into your own damage. It will come back. And you can save life too, but practice makes perfect. As you know, Zarya has two different fire modes. She has a beam, a channeling ability, and then a ball of energy. Now, this comes down to personal preference, but I like using my right click or the energy ball more until I hit a higher level of energy. And why do I do that? Well, first of all, I don't have a godlike aim. And secondly, it's because I really like the alternative fire, because it has splash damage and a good range. Now, as you might see in this clip, I try to anticipate where the enemy will be, and that's because the alternative fire has a great feature, and that is a knockback effect. When the enemy is airborne and pushed, that means they have a bad ability, and therefore it makes them harder for them to dodge your attacks. You can lead up your killing blow to where you will predict they will land. I use my beam attack against tanks, and it is quite easy to keep the beam on them. But if your aim is on point and is not as terrible as mine, you should try to keep the beam on them. But my advice is to do it at high levels of energy blow. Regarding her ultimate, this has the potential to be a game changer, and it can, if done correctly, win you the game. The problem is, with a lot of Zaryas, that the team is not in position or is not ready for your ultimate. I will really encourage you guys to use your microphone. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, or you don't have a microphone, just make sure that your teams understand when you use your ultimate. Press, if you're playing on computer, your C key, so they know, or whatever your ultimate key is, so they know that you're about to ult, so they have just a second to react and get into position. Also think about team composition so you get most out of your ultimate. If you combine it with someone like Genji, Reaper, Pharah, all others, think about team synergy. The last thing I'm gonna cover is her weaknesses and strengths. Zarya is really strong, not just her biceps, but her character overall. And you can potentially carry a team, but it requires communication and teamwork as always, as this is a team-based game, guys. Zarya will have an advantage over heroes like Winston due to his low damage output, his huge hitbox, Genji because he doesn't have a lot of health and he cannot deflect your beam attack if you can manage to actually hit him. Zarya will absolutely destroy D.Vas because she cannot use her pitiful defense matrix against her, and you will absolutely melt her little toy. Also, you can kill her before she even touches the ground, if you time your shots correctly. You can actually land them on her. She's pretty good against McCrees, as your shield can absorb, for example, a headshot or fan the hammer combo, or even just negate the flashbang completely. People are going, as Zarya, are going to have a little bit of trouble and problems against Pharahs, because most of the time they are out of reach for us. Skilled Widowmaker and people like Bastion due to his massive damage output. Regarding enemies like Roadhog, Reaper and Hanzo and other heroes alike, or just enemy Zaryas, it all comes down to your shields and your charge. I've been around 100% charged, and the Roadhog, he could not out-heal my damage. He just healed up and I melted him down. I've also tried coming around the corner with 0% charge, and my beam only tickled him. Reaper's a tank buster, and all comes down to your shield and charge if you can save your life and have a high amount of damage output. Another Zarya, yeah, that's always an interesting battle, as it is to see who has the best shield management, highest charge, and the best aim. I hope you learned something, and I hope that you will hone your skills after watching this. Picking a tank is always a wise choice, because we need people like you. And remember to comment if you want other guides. Remember if you want a carry video. Oh, and by the way, a pro tip: don't shoot the other Zarya's barriers for the love of the iris. This is all. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Are you still here? Well, fair enough. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay. See ya!